All right, welcome. So this is Exit 8, and I think I vaguely remember when this game uh first came out, but I was thinking about it recently because there was something about it, like a trailer for they made a movie of this, and I think it's already out in Asia, but it's like coming out in the US I think next month. I could be wrong there. But you got the rules. Hi, sir. Something about look for anomalies. If you see an anomaly, turn around. If you don't see an anomaly, don't turn around. That's about what I remember. Seeing the seeing the trailer, I was watching a WPIG 1651 DSP detractor channel, and he was watching DSP react to the video, and DSP was really confused, like, "Oh, they made it Asian. It's not Asian."
なあ。
すいません。8番出口ってどこですか？ご案内。
So one of the major differences here, if you don't remember, the game was not like set in Asia.
And like you bring up just like even the like picture for the game, it says Exit 8 and there's like Japanese writing on it. Like, yeah, I think it might take place in Asia, buddy. Should I look at these signs more? Security camera operational. That's good to know. I'll admit, there was that dog grooming one. From a distance, I thought it was like a knife. The dog, like, oh, is this like one of those stereotypical? Oh yeah, Asian restaurant. They just chop up pets. Exit 8. 8 open. Is that an anomaly? Hmm. I don't know if I'm going to regret that decision. Okay, that's closed. So I think I did the right thing. You're smiling. Okay, we turned around. I don't like smiling people. Exit 2. I was working on trying to record some stuff last night. I have been really bad about keeping up with anything this last week. I've just been stupidly tired. The joys of working a whole lot of overtime. Um, but I've been forgetting. I changed the setting on my PlayStation. Because when I've been doing live streaming, I've been just plugging a headset into my controller. I tried plugging just my microphone into the directly into the PlayStation, see if that would give me a slightly better audio, but even turning the mic all the way down, it was so loud. Like I'd barely whisper and they would fill up the bar when you're doing like the volume test. But the problem is after I was live streaming, I'd keep on forgetting to turn off the controller mic. And then I'd record a video, and when I'd go to edit it, you would have the two different versions of my voice. And is that an anomaly? I don't remember. I haven't looked at the no smoking sign, so I don't know if the cigarette's off color or what. I feel like I'm probably not looking around enough. Okay, maybe it's not. But yeah, it would just be awful. Like the audio from my controller would be a little too quiet. And kind of rough sounding. I know my microphone's not great. It's pretty cheap mic. But even lining up everything perfectly, that's an anomaly. So we're just going to go ahead and turn around. Lining up everything perfectly, there'd still be like an echo sound. And it'd sound awful. And like I'd give thought of like, well, I could just like mute the game, but then I got to put some kind of noise in there. And I don't know. I just get frustrated, just like erase all the videos. Okay, we're turning around. That one I'm pretty confident was an anomaly. Back to normal, I think. How are you doing, sir? Kind of intrigued to watch this movie. From what the Alt Insider, ALT, however you want to pronounce his name, was saying about the game is there's like creepy elements, but it's not like a like big time horror game. We're just gonna turn away from the Men in Black. Whereas it seems like the movie is leaning much harder into the horror aspect. I have a feeling there's gonna be like a jump scare eventually. All right. We are golden. Everything's good. Everything is just fine. Hello, sir. Still looking good. I always hear that clicking sound. Almost sounds like a... Okay, we are turning around. It almost sounds like a door closing or something, or like a lock being engaged. I feel like he came around the corner a little faster at time, but I don't know if that's really an anomaly. So random story. Turn left or keep left. Okay. I was like, wait, I can't turn left. I visited family yesterday, and afterwards I decided to do my shopping for the week. And so I drove over to drove over to city near where I live, just tiny little city. It's like large town, small city, somewhere in that range. And there's like a little motel. It's a little jittery. I don't know if that's just performance or if that's an anomaly. It's got me questioning everything. There's like a little motel in the maybe. Okay. Story time might be over for a moment. How you doing, sir? Can you turn the lights on? Do you know where the lights are? Are you going to attack me? I don't want to be attacked. Okay. I may have actually jumped when the lights turned back on. Yeah, there was like a motel and just like 4 police cars, lights flashing in the parking lot of the motel. So I get to the store and I was like texting my family like, "Hey, well, stuff going down here." And as I was texting, out of my peripheral, I see some guy like kind of walking in the general direction of my car, and I don't think much about it. I'm parked right beside the cart return, so I'm like, well, probably a worker just coming to grab the carts. And he had like a makeshift raincoat made out of like a clear trash bag. Like, well, odd, but not the weirdest thing. Like, if you don't have raincoat immediately available, you do what you do. He just stops near my car and just stands there staring at me. It's like, okay. I kind of glance at him and then continue my text. He stands there for a few moments and then just turns and walks away. Like, yeah, that was odd. Kind of made me remember a couple years ago I briefly worked at AutoZone in that town, and despite living really close to it, I don't spend a ton of time there. Wait, you seem a lot bigger. I'm going to turn around. So I didn't realize until some of my coworkers started filling me in. Apparently, meth is kind of popular in that nearby city. I suppose I shouldn't be too surprised. I know occasionally in the general area I live, there's like strings of break-ins. I don't know if that's directly tied to the quote-unquote meth epidemic or not. Thankfully, I haven't experienced any of that. But I did have some customers when I worked at AutoZone that made me question whether they were partakers in said product. Yeah, I was a supervisor there. I was just kind of in between jobs. I just needed something. I was having trouble finding something, so I went for a store. I was just going to be a normal worker. And the store manager's like, I need a supervisor. You want to be a supervisor? Sure, let's do this. But there was one customer. He was being helped by one of the other supervisors. I was what do they call them? Planograms? I think that's what they called them. I don't remember. Basically that's just the displays. I was updating one for either the cleaning stuff or the windshield wipers. They're like side by side in that specific store. And okay, different noises. Oh boy, lights turning off again. Okay, lights are on over there. Please stay on over there. Okay, thank you. There was no turn left sign. I wonder if I should have turned around. Was the turn left sign an anomaly? I don't know. Oh, keep left, not turn left. I keep on calling it turn left. But I think the other supervisor, I think she was stepping over to a computer to look up something for him. And I happened to walk by, so he kind of got my attention to ask me something. I'm like, all right. So I answered his question, and he kind of mumbled something, and so I'm like, wait, is he still talking to me? So I stood there a moment longer. He looks at me. He's like, I'm not gonna steal anything. You don't have to stand there staring at me. Like, all right, man. Thought you were still talking to me. So I just turned and walked away. And back in my areas, and he looks over at the other supervisor. He's like, can you stop? Can you tell him to stop mumbling about me? She's like, what? He's not talking at all. The guy's like, I have an amazing ears. I can hear all the way down to McDonald's. The McDonald's is like 2 blocks away. And she's just like, whatever, buddy. He's not saying a thing. But then somehow the guy gets shoved off on me. So despite him being really annoyed at me a moment ago, now I'm the one helping him. He has all this stuff on the table. And he keeps on like taking some of it back and then bringing other stuff forward. And like I'm trying to scan things in. Like, no, I don't need that anymore. So I erase it from the card and scan something else in. And he's like asking about discounts. He's like, I know you give certain customers discounts. Like, well, I mean, if it's not on the tag, we have a veterans discount, and like we have the commercial accounts. He's like, well, my mom has a commercial account. I'm like, really? Like, you know, your mom owns a automotive business, who connected her. Okay. Like, your mom owns an automotive business and has a commercial account with us. Like, well, she's had she shopped here for a long time. Like, well, that's not what it means. And he's like started talking about like manufacturer discounts, like rebates. Like, well, you'd have to look those up online and through the manufacturer. Like, we don't offer those up front. It's a rebate. And then he starts getting annoyed and puts a lot of stuff back, goes out to his car to kind of figure out how much money he has. And then I'm helping someone else. He comes, like, at some point when he stepped outside, the store manager who was in the back steps out. He's like, what is going on with this guy? We gave him a quick explanation. But I'm helping someone else, and he comes back in, and he just steps up while I'm dealing with this other customer. It's like, hey, man, I'm going to step back there and check some parts, like, pointing behind the counter. I'm like, customers aren't allowed back there. It's like, look, I know you're new here, but I'm allowed back there. Like, people here know me, and I'm just like, and like my store manager was helping someone right beside me, or at the computer right beside me, just kind of turns and he's like, excuse me, what's going on here? It was seriously like just washing my hands of it. The moment my supervisor addressed him, I'm just like, your problem now. Turned right back to my customer. But they got in a big argument. The guy got really mad, stormed out of there, went back to his car. Then kind of, he didn't come back inside, but he went over to the door, near the door, and just held something up, shook it, and then threw it in the ashtray by the door, and then hopped in his car and drove off. A few minutes later, it was like my break time, so I stepped outside, looked in the ashtray. It was part of like the material, like the guard that goes in the wheel well to prevent stones from like shooting up into your engine. He like broke a chunk of that off and like semi-threateningly shook it in our general direction. I think that was there's like other people where they definitely seemed like they're on something, but they didn't. Okay, we're going to assume that was a anomaly and not a graphical glitch. It seemed like they were on something, but they didn't really cause much of a scene. There were stories that I heard from before my time there. Okay. That same female supervisor. There's always supposed to be 2 people at the store. So that way, like, if you need to go on back, there's always someone out front with the customers. Like, you're never supposed to be alone at the store. And is that the exit? Is that an anomaly, or did I get to the exit? I'll continue talking in a moment. I'm I'm not sure if I should approach this or not. Did I do it? Watch there be a jump scare right now. I hear a chain link fence. All right, I did it. Well, I'm just going to wander around for a moment and finish that story, and then I'll call it quits. If I remember correctly, she said like the guy was trying to like return something or something. He just kept on getting worked up and like kind of arguing about every little thing. Started getting really mad and threatening her. At some point, he even like started grabbing stuff and chucking it at her. I feel like I jumped ahead. She was left. Someone had to do a quick delivery, and the delivery driver was still gone. So the other person working there is like, "Look, it's not far away. I'm just gonna hop over there, and I'll be right back." And it's obviously as soon as he's gone, that's when everything falls apart. But this person just melted down, started screaming at her, threatening her, picking up stuff and throwing it at her. He stepped outside, and thankfully at that time, another customer, someone I actually knew from a completely different job, happened to show up, and this guy was like really good person. She knew him also. So as soon as he steps in, he just kind of like quickly realizes something's going on. She's like, "Hey, everything all right?" She's like, "I'm calling the cops. Make sure he doesn't come back in." This guy just like, it's like, "All right," just immediately turns and like just blocks the door. But yeah, the report kind of got pushed up to corporate, and like the regional manager, I think, contacted her, and like basically they spread this guy's name around and banned him from all AutoZones. So don't attack your local AutoZone person. There are people too. All right, I think I'm gonna end this video. I exited. I found my anomalies. Should I do a jump scare? There's an anomaly there. I'm just gonna keep going forward and see what happens. We're just... Hi. All right. Well, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you had as much fun as I did. Until next time, bye, dear friends. Until next time.